About food combining for those who have been able to make my advanced nutrition session on Wednesdays. So we're talking about this whole idea of food combining was mainly introduced in the 70s by two people, Harvey and Marilyn Diamond, who basically had a book called Fit for Life. It was very famous. And in the 70s or late 70s, they introduced this, I think. And I've read parts of their book over the years, and it's really been astounding. So they introduced this whole idea that if you eat protein, meat with starches, it takes much longer to digest it in the food. And that's why people feel heavy. So we all have had this. Heavy starches like pasta, which is a high starch, and you have that with meat, which is also high protein, and you mix it and you have a pasta dinner. What do we do at Italian? You know, I love Italian food, but it's heavy, right? Let's be honest, right? You can't do sit-ups after eating an Italian meal. So I had pasta with the meat sauce. Then you have garlic bread. That's two different starches plus grated cheese, which is fat on top of that. So these are heavy foods that you're combining all together. And what will happen is what they discovered is your body has to use triple the amount of energy to digest this, and it takes 12 to 14 hours to digest that. But if you were to eat the pasta or the bread with salad instead of meat, it would only take 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours, which means you have less digestive energy involved, less acidity, and you will not gain the weight as readily. Because the longer food is in your system, the more readily it will absorb the fat, right, and calories. Okay? Not absorb the calories, but, you're going to absorb the fat. So what they introduced is it's better to eat non-starchy carbs like vegetables, like broccoli, right? I don't know how to spell broccoli. Like salads, like green beans, right? So I'm just going to show everybody this. So those who didn't come to the session, I will email this out to everybody that's in my challenge group. I have a file so that you'll also have a file of it so you won't lose it. If you lose it, you can always print it off. So this is the food combining chart that I usually keep track, and it's probably a good idea to put this in a laminate and stick it on your fridge. So when you're eating and cooking, you can kind of be aware of what foods combine best with what. Now, in the chart, what also they talk about is fats are good combinations with starches. So fats go well with starches. So this is where Italians have the right idea. They dip their bread in olive oil, right? Yeah. Starches with fats, right? Do Indians? Indians have a similar, you have ghee on their rotis. The fat on the roti, right? Butter on our bread. That's okay. Okay? Garlic sauce on my bread. That's okay. Olive oil on my bread, right? Is there olive oil and garlic sauce? Mayonnaise on your bread. All this is okay because it's fats with starches. Okay? Now, what's good with non-starchy vegetables is also with fat. So you have vegetables plus fats are great. Butter on my green beans, right? Sour cream on my potatoes. That's fine. Butter on my, that is all good. And it's interesting because we like butter and sour cream on our potatoes. It goes well together. So I'll tell you a little secret that I do. Is and I do this when I can, sometimes I want to eat, I don't want to be as bloated, I don't want to be as heavy. So if I'm going to run and work out and I don't have time to, because it'll take you 2-3 hours to digest the pasta. Like if I have meat and rice and everything, it takes you at least 3 hours to digest that, right? Like you cannot work out for at least a few hours, right? So if I want to digest something faster, what I do is, and for energy, I will eat just a carb. I will have baked potato or sweet potatoes. I'll eat 6-8 ounces. You may want to write this down or you may want to note this. I'll eat 6 to 8 ounces of sweet potatoes or 8 ounces of brown rice or basmati rice, right? And I'll throw what? 2-3 tablespoons heaping tablespoon of salsa sauce, which is vegetables, right? On top of my carbs, right? And throw on a tablespoon of garlic sauce, which is fat, right? And I'll throw on another couple tablespoons of hummus on top of that. Now guess what? That really makes it taste good, right? And guess what else I do sometimes? If it's a potato, I will grate some cheese, because cheese is not just a protein, but it's a high fat. So cheese is kind of in between. You know what I mean? It's more of a fat almost than a protein. You know what I mean? Like it's a protein, but it's a fat. You know what I mean? Because cheese is like 70% fat, right? So you can have cheese on bread. You can have cheese on potato. That's what I do. Do you see how I do it? And you'll notice that you won't be as bloated. And when I have the potato and rice, guess what I have with it? I have salad. If I don't have salad, guess what goes good with rice? Sauerkraut. I know, some people find that gross, but okay, I'll do sauerkraut. I'll do salad. I'll also do, I'm sure Indians, they have like pickles, right? Vegetable pickles. I'll do kimchi, because I'm Korean. Koreans were into kimchi, fermented vegetables that are pickled like pickles. Some people like pickles, right? You'll have pickles. Dill pickles. So this is how I eat, okay? Fruits. So we'll say starches plus you can have with non-starches, right? Such as, so you can have a potato, example, potato and salad, right? You can do pasta and tomato sauce, right? Because tomato sauce are vegetables, right? Make sense?
Yeah.
So a vegetarian spaghetti dinner, right? With grated cheese on it. See how that works? That's filling, right? It's lighter though, right? You have vegetable sauce, but grate, what's, don't put 3 ounces of cheese on it, right? Like, put a couple tablespoons, right? That'll work. Okay?
When you say potato, is it sweet potato or both?
Any type. Any type. Okay? Now, those who are on weight loss, you got to be careful with the cheese. Okay? Can't be eating this every day. It's high fat. It's higher than peanut butter. And peanut butter is high.
Which cheese is the
Cheese has to be a treat. It has to be once, twice a week. Maximum. No more. Yeah. And no more than like a tablespoon grated.
Even if it's low fat cheese?
Even low fat is 18%. Unless you get Allegro. The only cheese that is really lean, I can't find it anymore, used to sell it at Metro. I heard that they have it at Sobeys, I'm not sure. Allegro, Allegro, mozzarella. It's a mozzarella cheese. It's 4% fat. Yeah, it's really low. I used to buy it. It tastes like rubber raw. Doesn't taste that good. Because when the fat is low, it doesn't taste great, right?
Yeah.
Tastes like rubber. When you melt it, it tastes like cheese. That's how I do it. I melt it on my toast. I can't find it anymore. But you know what? This is where you exercising, you can afford to eat because you're going to be burning it off. Okay? So one of the tricks that I do for all of you is you can eat carbs and fat within an hour after cardio.
Oh.
That's the best time to eat it. That's when I have my apple pie. So
Okay.
do your 45-minute power walk or bicycle with your workout. Then within an hour, half hour after that, you can have your treat. You can have that piece of chocolate cake or whatever. You can do that
This is good to know.
once a week, not every day. And preferably a vegan chocolate cake or something healthy with maple syrup. Go to Green Door, go to Wild Oats. Okay? So this is the food combining section. That's all I wanted to cover for food combining. And then we're going to get into our coaching. All right. Since Madeline, this is your first session. So I'm covering a different aspect of coaching if you want to stay, Superman, which might be helpful.
Okay, I'll stay. I'll stay.
I'm going to cover an advanced one, and then I'm going to cover a basic one for Madeline's sake. Okay, she's been these books. Okay. It's concept. When bad things happen to us, you need to think back, how was I vibrating all week?
That's actually for me.
Yeah, probably is. Okay. I think it'll apply, but I know this happens to a lot of people, even me. So I want you to think, what did I go through and think about? So it's all about thinking. So, it's not my fault. It's okay. What the thought that you choose to think about becomes words. Then words become action. And actions create results. And results create your destiny. Make sense? Your thoughts eventually create words. And your words eventually culminate into action. And those actions culminate into roughly habits. And those actions create results in your life of some kind, whatever they are. Whether it's in relationship, whether it's physical, whether it's mental, whether it's emotional results, whatever they are, relation, whatever. Then those results create your destiny. That's where you end up going in life. So I tell people, be careful what you say. I'm a failure. I'm this. I'm never going to do this. I'm never going to be like this.